hopefully you've resonated with this, the nice guy. I think a lot of guys we work with struggle with addiction, um, really undergirding and have like kind of a victim mindset or a nice guy complex, rather than really stepping into who they are. They live in kind of fear of others and fear of connection and fear of rejection. So number one, it starts with taking responsibility, really just owning it. Stop blaming others and start owning where the nice guy has shown up. So hopefully you guys have done some of that in this journey. Joe, just reflecting on the last couple of months as we've been going through this, we talked about bravery and decisiveness and being honest, and we talked about enmeshment, and separating yourself from others, and talked about emotionality. What are some things that stood out to you that you want to maybe put a pin in as we bring this final episode to a close?
Yeah, a couple things that you just said there that I think that are worth noting or reinforcing. The first one is that at some point you have to come to the understanding, the belief that these dimensions of who I am, that these ways of behaving, showing up in relationships are defense mechanisms,
Yeah.
are self-protection, and they're no longer serving you. That I think at some point you have to come to the frame of mind and the disposition that this is negative, not to my benefit, and it's not helping
Right.
anyone else.
Right.
Right. And I think that happens in a variety of ways, either patterns in relationships, so a romantic relationship with girlfriend or wife, where you just are in the same cycle of things happening, whether it be you not communicating your needs and then getting resentful, which we've talked about before,
Yeah.
or you having that expectation that I'm doing all this to serve you, but you don't reciprocate, which then creates resentment again. So, like, I think, I mean, you've mentioned resentment a number of times throughout this series, and I think it's really
Hmm.
good to pay attention to when do you feel resentful and what relationships do you experience resentment? Where's that coming from? Is that coming from things that they're doing that are infringing on your boundaries or the expectations you have, or are they things that are coming from you? I think that's really important. I think also a disposition that's really important is to become sensitive, which I think is difficult for men in general to get to this point where you're willing to consider the role that early childhood development and early attachment relationships is manifesting or playing out in adult relationships. I don't think it's something that
Yeah.
many of us think about or want to think about. I think many of us, myself included to some degree, are forward focused, right? Like, well, I see an issue, I'll solve for that issue, and I move on. And I think we need to give at least, if we're going to do this well, to the point that it has a lasting solution, that
Hmm.
we're willing to ask the question, where is this coming from? Right? And to get curious about that. Not in when we talk about in the Freedom Group a lot, awareness without judgment, right? Where is this coming from?
Right.
Rather to critique our parents or to critique our childhood, just to be curious and aware of why is this manifesting? Where did this come from? Where was this formed? And what about your past needs to be acknowledged and recognized, processed through, healed, in order to be able to experience that full fruition we're searching for here, where you can experience life as an integrated free man.